Our position has always been that it's a terrible waste of scarce public resources to spend money on professional sports stadiums because they never produce the amount of revenue that it costs to build them. We feel it's a waste of money to subsidize millionaires who have no need to be subsidized. And since Ballpark Village is part and parcel of the ballpark, we are opposed to it on grounds that the Cardinals have already received plenty of money, millions of dollars, for the ballpark, especially since when they mentioned Ballpark Village, when they put it in their deal, they said it was part of their commitment to the community, and they were going to do it. And at no point did they say the taxpayers were going to have to subsidize that as well. Now, with Centene coming into the picture, evidently, based on what I can read in published reports, there's going to be $200 million more in bonds to be issued by the city of St. Louis to finance Phase 1, which belongs to Mr. Cordish and Mr. DeWitt, and Phase 2, which now belongs to Centene. And when you borrow $200 million over 25 years, the total bill is going to be somewhere in the $400 million range. But now, who pays off the bonds? Under the law, the revenue raised within Ballpark Village is supposed to be used to pay off the bonds. So where does that revenue come from? If you're living in the city of St. Louis, you're paying city earnings taxes. And those city earnings taxes will continue to go to the city of St. Louis. But if you take a job in Ballpark Village, now 25% of the city earnings taxes that you pay will be dedicated to paying off those bonds.
So do you think Centene should pay for the project themselves for their facilities moving and not receive any tax credits or incentives?
Fine, yes. I mean, they're moving into the hottest piece of real estate in the city of St. Louis. At least that's what we're told by the Cardinals. And so if they were willing to put up the same buildings in Clayton until Clayton said you can't use eminent domain to do this, well then it seems to us they're financially situated to do the same thing for the two buildings they want to put up in Ballpark Village. Mid-America Airport at Scott Air Force Base. If you build it, they'll come. But nobody's come yet. We've got a $1 billion new runway at Lambert Field. If you build it, they will come, and nobody has come yet. Nobody uses, except an occasional plane uses that runway. St. Louis Center, the shopping mall, 20 years ago. One of the television stations in town, when it did the announcement by Slay of the Mercantile Center, they're calling it, ran a clip of Vince Shamel in 1985 announcing with great pride the opening of the St. Louis Center Mall. Well, it failed, even though it's right next door to the Jones Dome that was supposed to be a huge developer or instigator of economic development. The old post office was renovated back in the 80s, and it failed, and so now it's been renovated again, and so we're waiting to see whether it produces any results. So do I think Centene will succeed? Do I think Ballpark Village will succeed? Well, we have many examples of things that were put forward, beautiful artist concept drawings in the newspaper and on television, and then time went by and we find out what actually happened to them. So with regard to Centene and Ballpark Village, you just have to take it on faith.